Oh, and look at that. We did it right on the beat.
Wow.
That's exactly right. That's because we're professionals here.
Sign of a true pro, man.
Woo! Yeah, we ran that down. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't get one of the 3 streams that we do normally out, but now it's all fixed. Everything's in sync, and we're here with you on Thursday. My name is Chris Melasinos. I am the principal evangelist for video games here at AWS, and on today's program, which is coming to you one day early because I'm going to be out of the studio all day tomorrow, I have my very good friend, brother from many, many years, amazing games industry legend, Mr. Darren Gladstone. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm
with the home studio audience. Thank you.
That's right, with our home studio audience. Yes, thanks. Everybody just settle down. He'll do autographs later, for God's sake. Because you know what I should say? You are about to get
Gladstone.
Right, which, by the way, if you go take a look at his work in the press for many years, you will see the Gladstone reference there. But Darren, please go ahead and share with our audience your background. Who are you? Why are you here today?
I answered the email. No, actually, hi. I've known Chris for God knows how long. I think CNET days. Is that when we met, or is
CNET?
Yeah. Anyway, so was a journalist for a long stretch in the game industry and tech industry. Had a fun time doing it. Then I migrated to the other side, where I've worked in hardware at HP. I've worked at games at 2K. Did a stint at Telltale, and now I'm just kind of like I kind of work behind the scenes at places and do a lot of fun stuff. But so it's kind of like a ne'er-do-well across the game industry at this point.
Okay, but so no, not a ne'er-do-well. Yes, you are always doing well, not just a ne'er-do-well who skips from place to place. I should also mention that you are wearing the Metal Gear Solid shirt with
you caught
with
it.
Snake down in the lower right-hand corner and on the back of the shirt. And I know this, and I know where you got it from, which was Uniqlo, because I have this same exact shirt that I have worn on this show before, and I freaking love it. And I love when we just run into people that are like, oh yeah, that's Metal Gear, but NES Metal Gear.
But it's subtle.
Yeah, and it's MSX Metal Gear. That is what there you go, the MSX. Yeah. Now, do you know what it says on the shirt?
You know what? I actually did a translate on it, and I'm totally going to forget it right now. So I'm not doing my job properly. But
yeah, I forgot what it said too, but all I remember from there is I feel asleep. Yes, because I do feel asleep.
Yeah, that's what the coffee's for. But I'd say a lot of my fashion is like these, like for those who would catch it, like give you the nod when you're walking down the street kind of thing, and that's about it.
Head nods, hell yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Now, I should also mention too that Darren's joining me today. Mark Delore is going to be joining us hopefully a little bit later in the program. Yeah, Rick Velez here in the chat says Metal Gear. It's like, yes, exactly.
Yes.
And Dean is traveling right now, and Susan also had other commitments. We moved it, like I said, to Thursday because I will be out of the studio all day tomorrow. So didn't want to have a week go by. We didn't have a Boss Rush episode. And so that's why we're here. Mark's going to be joining us a little later. Let's jump into some game news. Banana is right. Well, before we do the news, so Darren, can you tell us a bit about the work that you're doing right now, some of the stuff that you're involved in? Why don't you share with the audience kind of the stuff that you're working on?
Sure. There's okay. So a lot of stuff I can't talk about. It's kind of like, NDA up and whatever. 2 things I can talk. I know. two things I can talk about. So let me see. I'm helping out. I work with the folks at Kluge Interactive. Now those guys have been around for a long time. Most people know them for Synth Riders, one of the early VR rhythm VR games, and I'm helping them with it. We're bringing it to flat screens. It's actually it's the best way I can think of describing it. It's kind of like Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk with Tron vibes, and it's basically there's like single player stuff. There's PvP, 4-player co-op. And it's a whole different it's a different take on the same universe, and there's a little campaign in there, And I just want to throw it out there. It's got a boss fight at the end that I think is pretty cool too. So
Oh, that's awesome.
So basically, if it's the song, it's a lot of awesome, all licensed songs, and if you love the songs, you're gonna have a great time. It's like I can't really go into the whole long list, but it's like up to 64 tracks with the
78 licensed songs, 85 optional DLC tracks featuring Queen, Aha, Gorillaz, Bruno Mars, Radiohead, Lindsey Sterling, Muse, and more.
Well, that's the stuff on the VR version. The flat version is going to have a variety as well. But I can't. And the thing is, we have things continually dropping on that. That's pretty cool. The other thing that I could talk about, I suppose, is there's a game called Happy Bastards. That's,
okay.
So it's really funny. It's kind of like it's a D&D. It's basically like it's a fantasy tactical RPG. So basically, it kind of channels the energy. Imagine you're hanging out with your buddies on a Friday night, and you're kind of like talking trash and kind of like making all these horrible decisions for your characters. It's a game basically about that, and so in the Discord right now, if you actually jump over to it, we're having a pre-alpha combat demo that we're just sharing with people who want to chat with us in the Discord. So it's super early, but even now we're kind of having a fun time with it, which is always a good sign, right?
That's awesome.
So basically, there's a lot of slices to the way the world works, and you're just getting one small slice of it, and we love people to play it. So those are the two things I can. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what the combat's like.
That is very, very cool. Yeah, here we go. Here's a little.
Yeah, we do not take ourselves. The game does not take itself all too seriously, but just seriously enough.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, Matt Anderson in the chat says we are all happy bastards down here.
That is absolutely true. No, it's So yes, it's kind of weird when like you can basically help work on something where you just basically like, what is the worst possible thing you could think of? Let's put it in the game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's part of what games are about stretching the bounds of what we can do, and it's also finding your tribe, finding your group, within a particular body of games. In fact, there was a discussion that was going on LinkedIn today about the type of content in games and how it may not be for every audience, and how do we kind of parse that when we're talking about art and we're talking about community and everything, right? And the whole thing is like, who am I to say? Because everything has a voice, right?
Right. And I think it's the same kind of conversation we've had for decades, if not centuries, whether it's movies, books, or music.
Yeah. Of course, things that are squarely designed to hurt, absolutely no place for it, right? In games, art, or in our, in discourse, right? But a little tongue-in-cheek sort of stuff for a game like Happy Bastards. In fact, I remember, but it is funny, like when you're talking about titling stuff and presenting things, there is a game called Void Bastards, which is phenomenal game. Right?
Yeah, not just, and also there was Void Bastards, and then they did another one. I always forget that. So like basically, it's Blue Man Shoes, the dev team on that. They did Void Bastards, and there was another game, Wild Bastards, I think it was. Okay. In the same universe, I think. But yes, those are fantastic games.
Love it. But when I had to go in and pitch that, like, hey, I want to do this type of demo and everything, and what's the game? Void Bastards. And then you're kind of sharing it around your company, and people are like, it has bastards in it? You're like, okay. Just let that go. Look at the game. The game's amazing. Totally. Oh, my goodness. We have Seth from 8-Bit Weapon fame joining us in the chat too. So hey, Seth, and he says MSX Metal Gear is on Switch. So apparently that's in the storefront. We can go ahead and check that out. And Rick Neal says Darren looks younger and sexier.
Well done.
Wow.
Well done indeed.
Well, I can
well
credit.
Done.
Yes, I can credit vodka and sleeping in Tupperware. I kind of burp the top every night before I go to bed.
Oh. You know, it's a good thing that those smelling type of devices that they were trying to, make for the web.
Smell-o-vision, whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing.
I sent.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you remember that back in 2000?
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, Seth. Greetings, programs. All right, why don't we go ahead and jump into some news for the week while we're waiting for Mark to jump in here too. So, and then of course, anybody that's listening, engaging, whether you're on LinkedIn, Twitch, or YouTube, go ahead and let us know if you have any questions for us, news articles we should be discussing, those types of things. But why don't we go ahead and jump into some big news of the week? So, Darren, what is top of mind for you?
Oh, good Lord! You're gonna throw this on me?
Yes, that is the job. That grenade goes over the fence. Like that's how that works.
I mean, you and I were just kind of riffing a little bit about the joys of Microsoft and what's going on in the wonderful world of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jason. Before we jumped on the line today, Jason Schreier posted something on Bloomberg about how the profit margins were pushed, or what is it, the accountability margin or something? I forget the phrasing that they use.
Yeah, accountability margins. Yeah.
Right. So it's 30%. That's what they wanted to have for the Xbox division, according to his reporting. And it just seemed, as he rightly points out in the story, it seems like a very ambitious number to say the least. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of, and it's so part of the conversation I was having earlier with Chris, just to rehash here, is I was wondering, what do you think is going to happen when you shell out $70 billion plus legal fees and a PR campaign to make a purchase happen for Activision Blizzard a few years ago, and then all of a sudden, you have dad looking over your shoulder saying, "Okay, what am I getting for the $70 billion I spent?"
Right.
So there's that. I mean, you probably get a short runway to kind of make profit, and then after that, money's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, especially you're looking at their EBITDA margin over time and where they'd hit, right? So when you say, well, 17 point, that's basically a 50%, almost a 50% climb, right, from where they are today. And some of this takes into account the changes in strategy, right, and type of services that they offer. One of the things that we talked about last week was, the rise in their services and $1,000, ROG Ally X, which of course, they only have so much control over because they're not actually manufacturing it, right? It's a partnership type of thing. But when you start moving out to cloud infrastructure and, running Xbox anywhere, those GPUs get really expensive really quick, right? To run. Yeah. And so it's a further investment in that, right? So what we're seeing, right, is kind of maturation of the business, maturation of Microsoft's business, I think, overall. And again, I have no, other information beyond what we all see. So this is just my perspective, right? I don't speak for anybody else but Chris, right? But I mean, this, once again, it's kind of the maturation of the business and them having to go ahead and fit into the rest of, where Microsoft is placing bets, right? And it's no different than, any large company. But this also goes back to the stuff that we've been talking about as an industry for a while, which is when you are accountable to shareholders, right? It changes the dynamics of what you can create, how you create it, and the things that have to occur to keep the business healthy and continue building forward. No easy answers. And, again, I'm not there, so I can't really speak to it other than, it's not entirely surprising, right? To see that happen.
Right. And my thing is, I've actually, a lot of the moves that have been made in the past few years prior to the buyout and all that, I was applauding them. And I'm like, this is great. I love the fact they're kind of bringing in studios and kind of putting them under the same roof. Yeah. The same company that's bringing us, Pentiment and Grounded 2 and, Keeper. And, I loved Hi-Fi Rush, like a lot of people did. I mean, there were a lot of, great swings, not even talking about the AAA stuff, but that AA category. And it's very encouraging to see those moves coming from Microsoft, frankly. So, was hoping to see more of that and more risk taking. And obviously I'm, living in a dreamland, but
Well, a lot of this stuff then becomes cyclical, right? And so there are times where you can take bigger swings and things like that. Plus the fact that our industry is changing so drastically. Well, actually, let me take that back. It's not changing drastically, right? It's evolving with the way the rest of society is evolving, right? And what it means for video games today is not what it meant 5 years ago. Considering who plays, where they play, how they play, right? All these sorts of things that are also impacted by the way that we've cut up other forms of content. So we're acclimating people to behave differently when they're consuming things. It only stands to reason that those same types of pressures are going to be applied on a long-form narrative, typically, right, that video games represent, that don't necessarily fit into the way people consume content or engage with it anymore, right? So this is not... this is, again, a maturation of our industry, of the art form. And once again, once you get public money right behind these things, it looks very different, or it can look very different from company to company, right? Like we saw with EA, then, selling the company. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how they continue going forward. I know they also announced that they are working on next generation hardware. They made that announcement with AMD, right? So expect another Xbox or another device for that coming down the road. When
I really do hope that they stick with the mobile form factor. I mean, maybe I know I'm delusional. I'm probably in a minority, but I've actually found that, like, in the past few generations, like, the device that I can have with me is the device I'm using all the time. And it's not even like I'm traveling, like hopping on a plane. It's like I'm going to the coffee shop, or I'm just going to take my kid around town and I need to kill some time. So these days it's a decision whether I bring a Switch 2 or I bring the ROG Ally X, not the Xbox flavor. I bought in a little earlier.
You did. You did. And you're playing all the same stuff you're playing on the ROG Ally X, right? Matt in the chat here says, as someone who's actively looking for employment, the general news coming out of Xbox worries me for my future and makes me shy away from looking at Microsoft jobs. Again, I have no idea what their strategies. I can't really speak to that, right? What I would say, and Darren, I'd love your perspective on this too, is in talking to people that are coming into the industry or want to get in. I apologize, Matt. I don't know whether, what your work experience here, I should know that because you've been on the live stream multiple times, is, figure out where you want to be and then figure out what are the jobs that need to be done that you're willing to go in and do to get in the door. Like getting in the door is the hardest part, right? I mean, when I was at Sun, I left as the chief gaming officer and the chief evangelist for the company. I started as the district sales support rep. So I went in and made copies for the salespeople and, brought customers into a conference room and put
rags
together.
to riches story. Buddy.
But you did what you had to do, because then once you're in, now you can kind of figure out, where you want to go. I'm not saying that you have to start there, but if there's a particular company you want to get into, figure out how you can, the skills you have can apply to solving other problems. May not be exactly the job you want getting in, but it shows the willingness to be there, right? So yeah, but but Darren, I did want to say one thing, in this article, one of the things it says is the new target was implemented by the new chief financial officer, Amy Hood, or by chief financial officer, Amy Hood, impacted strategies with games that are cheap to make or likely to generate significant revenue, taking priority over riskier bets, right? This is very much a kind of a public company sort of approach to things. The word in there, cheap to make, those words, not word, that's the stuff that makes me, okay, no, it's not cheap to make. It's how do you go ahead and more effectively create high quality games, right? What are the things you do to create efficiencies? Cheap is the word that discounts the art form. That's the stuff that bothers me.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, I'm not. I mean, if we're going to go into hot button topics, which I'm going to tap dance around because we only have a handful of minutes versus hours. But my biggest, honestly, I mean, it actually kind of ties into what Matt was asking. I'm going to circle back to that in a second. I'd say one of the bigger concerns that I think a lot of people have, whether they currently have a job or if they're seeking a job in the games business right now, is what the top down views as the end product. And the quality bar they set for it. So if you have lower standards, how do you accomplish those lower standards? And it's,
right.
in the system that we're in, basically, the way it exists right now, it's how much can we make with as little as possible. And the biggest overhead is health insurance and, human bodies doing the work. So, but unfortunately, I quote, unfortunately, the people that make the thing are what makes the game business what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting in a room or a Discord chat or whatever, that's where the magic happens, when people are throwing ideas at a wall and they're kind of riffing off each other and building something really unique. And a lot of the bigger studios, there are some great, amazing people working at these studios, and I love working with them. But there comes a point in your career where you just go, you know what? I'd rather work with a smaller team, a nimble team, people that are focused and can rely on each other and have each other's backs.
Yeah. No, completely agree. And the other comment that Rick had here in the chat is, I would love to see a return to games from major studios that don't cost over $100 million to create. You're starting to see that. Look at the number of games that are coming out that didn't require large studios that are actually, sucking up the oxygen in the room. I think that is only going to continue as we see that kind of this rush back to the mid-tier happen. 6, 8, 10-hour games, 15-hour games. Those are going to be coming into the market. Single-player games are going to wind up taking up more and more of that space too, right? So you are going to see that. Now it's incumbent upon us to go play them, right, and let them know.
Yeah, and I actually, and this is something that we've talked about at various times, Chris, at trade shows and whatnot. I mean, this is something that there's something to be said for the gray gamers out there that are going to be a big part of the future of gaming as the average age of gamers grows. So my kid, he loves Fortnite. He'll play that. That's a social platform for him. He discovers new music there. He hangs out with his buddies. He doesn't play the kind of games that I play. Every once in a while, I'll say, hey, let's go play Mario Kart or something, like we did yesterday while waiting for an appointment together.
Nice.
Which was awesome. We're sitting in the car playing. But a lot of the games that are coming out in the future are going to cater to us.
Yeah.
They're going to cater because our kids are in college. Our kids are going on and having their own lives. And suddenly, the games that we loved playing in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, we have time to play them again.
100%. Free time millionaires, baby. That's
right.
what's going to happen as you start to, as Gen Xers over the next 7 to 10 years start looking at that leading edge of retirement. Free time millionaires. Yeah.
And so basically, I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities for for the big studios that are smart. They're going to double down on those hi-fi rushes and stuff like that. And then there's going to be the nimble small studios look, Ball X Pit that came out last week. It's basically a roguelike Arkanoid, and it's awesome. And there's going to be a ton more games like that.
A roguelike Arkanoid. I mean, you had me at every one of those.
There you go.
Those phrases there. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some other news. I think Mark is available, so he is working to go ahead and jump back in.
He's trying to hack the planet.
Exactly. Hack the planet. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Serial Killer and Zero Cool and Acid Burn. Lord Nikon. The Phantom Freak and Joey.
Congratulations. Also the best soundtrack.
Oh my God.
Second to Judgment Day.
It was an astonishingly good soundtrack. That movie, for all of the nonsense that was written into it, it is still just an incredible time capsule of what was going on in the world at the time. It's got a 28.8 BPS modem.
It's all about risk.
Risk architecture is going to change everything. So for those of you who don't know, we're talking about hackers. Go check it out. Some of Matthew Lillard's best work.
outside of Scream. Anyway.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this one here that you alerted me to. Escape from Duck-Off sells 1 million copies in under a week. Educate us here.
Okay, so you've probably heard of Escape from Tarkov.
Yes.
So, right. So extraction shooter. I'm not even going to go into the backstory around that right now. But when I was just talking about indie games, there's meme games like Steal a Brain Rot or whatever, but then there's parody games and just good games in general, and they're finding their way now. So inside of 24 hours, this game sold 200,000 copies, and then inside of a week, 1 million. So for a small team, that's a godsend. That is instant vindication to go on and live comfortably and work on your next project without the fear of getting laid off or fired. Like you'd see at a lot of bigger studios. And when I was talking about and I think the bigger trick really and this is one thing I didn't really get a shit. Hey, Mark, by the way.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that a wild Mark Delora that is now approaching?
Yeah. Hello. So.
Oh my goodness! Look at those bright choppers. You got to turn that camera down, buddy. Okay, let's go to jump back into Mark. We're talking about Escape from Duckov. So yeah.
So right. So I was just saying how here's a small team, small game, but it got a huge pickup because, well, one, the gameplay is fun. I was just commenting to someone yesterday about it. Basically, I haven't even gotten that far into the game, but just the cuteness of it, the way it's designed. I was playing it with my kid, and we literally spent like 30 to 40 minutes just designing our duck, and like with the customization factors, just cracking up. Like, let's give the duck a butt. Okay, I mean, it's kind of like this. It's taking parody meme culture and inserting it on top of good gameplay, and that's a market.
Damn, duck butt. Right, but here is the one interesting thing. Do these birds look like angry birds?
I no comment, and I don't know anybody from Rovio, but I'm going to say no comment.
Very good. Very good.
They look angry, but they don't look the same.
They look foul. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my God. Where is? Let's see. Terrible.
Excuse me.
That was terrible.
Sorry.
Bill Young over here. Bill Young in the chat says, "Let's go AA, III, 8-hour finishable games and more." He had even more to say there. Gray gamers. Hell yes, Bill. We need to get Bill on here too.
You know what's kind of funny? Like I think I first hit on that tirade of respect my time when I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, where I'm like, I have to be on this horse for literally as much time as I'd be on a real horse just to get from point A to point B.
It's realism,
Like,
baby. What are you talking about? Everything should be exactly the same.
Exactly. I'm gonna make a tax time game. Yes, in real time, you have to go through all of your receipts.
All your taxes.
Oh God!
And we're gonna update all of them. We're gonna push them through OpenAI's new browser, which won't be looking at any of your stuff to train anything. And we should also train all of our new models on everybody's private data. That'd be great.
Audit Simulator 2K25.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, Audit Simulator. Yeah.
While you're on a bus driving through the desert,
and it comes with a bottle of whiskey.
Now you've got a sale.
Now
hang on a second. Now I see something here. So basically, you have to do the audit while you're like imbibing whiskey, and the screen gets blurry.
Yeah, level 1 is IPA. Level 2 is vodka.
And we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop at level 3.
No, and what we'll do is level 3 is when your mic gets turned on, so you can start screaming at the game and have it just go, nope, you forgot to fill out this form, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's a torture game. That's what we're gonna make.
Oh, we do.
That's what we're gonna make. Max Acree says, hey, nice ID at Xbox 2018 deck, Darren. I have 24 and 25. Yes, nice. Yes.
Yeah, so actually I have a bunch more decks. I actually gave some away over the years. I had to clear room, but yeah, I had to hold on to one or two.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, our collective good friend, Chris Charla, very, very long time, awesome dude. He wound up hooking me up with a couple of decks from different years for my son. And I 3D printed some mounts, so they're hanging on the wall in his bedroom. So that's pretty awesome. And then, of course, our new game has blown up the chat here. See, it's different. No, Darren, just no. Sounds like Scumsoft a la Space Quest 3. Are you pitching an idea to Lucas Pope? So there.
Maybe I am. I would totally play that, by the way.
And Mark Delora just joined us back in his home office there. So good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Did you see the great news this morning?
Wait a minute. Are you talking about this great news? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Why don't you walk us through this? This was amazing.
Hey, I missed this.
Ooh, you missed it. Well, let me tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody listen.
Registration launch.
Everybody listen up. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Well, I don't have to say anything. That's the headline.
But we'll
There you go.
embrace
Sorry.
partners.
No, I could talk for 2 hours about it, actually. Yeah. GDC main price right now, 45% off from last year. So the festival, we've changed it. Everybody knows and has seen like the videos we've been talking about that GDC's become the festival of gaming this year. And what's that mean? So there's lots of words there you can read if you really want to know what that means. But it's 5 days. You know, it used to be like 2 days of summit and 3 days of core. Right now it's 5 days. Everybody in at the same price. Everybody has access to everything. We're gonna have evening events. We're gonna have Mixer Monday. We have the awesome symphony concerts that we've been having at lunch. We'll have at night on Tuesday. IGF Awards on their own night on Wednesday. GDC Awards on their own night on Thursday. We're sprawling out in San Francisco, trying to take advantage more of being in a great city. And so there's more to come on that, but trying not to be boxed in by just being in conference halls.
Yeah.
And look
great.
at that pick right there.
And look at that crazy old pick.
Always
put
be
something between my hands.
Tell everybody tell everyone what that is.
That's me getting the ambassador award, GDC ambassador award in 2017.
Yes.
And I probably was talking about something to do with Trump and the word bigly, I'm guessing right there, because that's who I am. Pretty sure that's what that was. So we're like really doubling down on networking a lot this year in terms of like what's different about the conference. Like you can read through all that, but the conference has always been about the community, right?
Yep.
And
100%. That's actually, I got to say, just fresh to the news. That's really huge for someone like me as a game industry Ronin at this point, where I would spend so much of my time. Like I would dot in, catch up one panel or keynote or whatever, but I'd spend a majority of my time like hanging out in Yerba Buena Gardens or just over at one of the nearby bars and catching up on things. So having more people in the door, and like one thing that I would see is people that are in college, still, or at DigiPen or whatever. They they're so hungry to get in and make connections that they couldn't afford everything they wanted to go to. So this is just a great piece of news, and I'm really happy to hear that.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want to highlight a particular quote in here from an unknown. In a time of great change, we can build walls or build bridges, and the game industry has always thrived by coming together, said Delora. I don't know, this random guy that's being quoted here. The GDC Festival of Gaming strengthens those connections, celebrating creativity and supporting everyone who brings games to life from napkin sketch to global launch. And Mark, I could not agree more with you. I mean, I remember the first time going to GDC, and half of it was just the random happenstance of running into somebody who's made something that's inspired me, people that are trying to figure out a path forward. I mean, that's what it's about. It's not just being able to read what people have done. It's being able to look them in the eye, to sit there and listen, to ask questions, to be vulnerable, to be inquisitive. Plus, I mean, Control Alt GDC, one of the greatest sections of the entire conference. The festival, no longer a conference, a festival. I can't wait, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
it's exciting to launch today. I keep looking back and thinking about, my first GDC was 97. I pulled out my old phone books from the GDC proceedings here from 97, 98, 99. But I don't think there are that many other industries where you can go to a conference and like your competitors are on the stage telling you how they made their game great. And you're like, great, I'm going to take notes. Now my next game's going to be great. I mean, we're so open and we share so much in this industry. That's what makes it special. And we're like, we want to double down on that, right? Like,
100% this. Like one of my earliest memories from GDCs, I think probably 97, 98, was going down to I think it was in San Jose, right? At the Fairmont. And they had this sunken pit lobby area. And it'd almost be like, I'm imagining like a National Geographic, safari video where you're walking and you see like this one watering hole of a bar, and you'd have like Will Wright in one corner,
all the antelopes are gathered in one side, the leopards are over here,
right? And you see all of these people all across the industry that you've played their games, you recognize the names, and you're just like, They're all just
Yeah.
hanging out, sharing their best practice. They're just kind of telling a funny story about how they made it through crunch to deliver a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, learn from what I've done, and
Don't
now
do what I've
you're-
done.
Don't do what I've done, and your next game will be better. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And the candid discussions that happen all around GDC, right? Because yes, you may work for competing companies, but you're all in this one particular industry to create this incredible art that, reaches billions of people every day. It's so meaningful. And that's what the other half of it's about. So yes, part of the business, but part for the community. And I know in the article you have a whole bunch of other information. Definitely go ahead and check that out. That's on GameSpeed site. But I would also be remiss if I didn't say that Seth Mitchell from 8-Bit Weapon in the chat says, Mark is summoning DLC content in this pick. So that's what she's doing. And Elizabeth Olsen, another one of our amazing friends who has joined us, says, will there be a place for Noah Falstein and Steve Moretsky to play board games at 2 a.m, a la the CGDC days?
Always. There always should be. It should be a sanctioned zone just for that.
Well,
Right?
if we can get if we can get a little
Exactly.
boss rush place set up there, maybe.
I know, right? Yeah, we're talking about having a little podcast nook at the show, so I think we're gonna make this work. I'm just saying. There's going to be so many fun things at the conference this year. I'm so
Awesome.
excited. That's why I joined.
I know that you are going to be completely inundated with all kinds of stuff, and you're going to be completely overworked, but you are going to spend time to do a boss rush piece.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. And I'm
Excellent,
going to say lots
excellent.
of stupid things, I'm sure. I'm going to say stupid things there. I already noticed today, like the first press headline I saw, I was like, wow, did I say that? That was stupid. Oh, well.
No,
It's okay. It's fine. It's what I felt.
and that's perfect. It's
Yeah, you know what?
it's
You're gonna
not
get it
stupid if
straight
that's
from
what you feel. Not stupid if that's
Yeah.
what you feel.
That's
So-
fun. We had a dinner last night. I'd be remiss to not mention this. We had a dinner last night in Seattle with about a dozen.
I know you did,
Seattle
you
area.
bum.
I know, like studio heads and execs from.
I got a
larger
text from
companies.
you all at like
Amazing.
3 a.m. or something.
So
It
good
was
night.
so
Jerks.
good.
Hey, too bad you
with,
can't be here living on the East Coast.
Oh, that's right. They
so
took a picture, I
sad.
forgot. Yeah, no, Nina, who's the president of GDC. She and I are going out and we're talking to developers to find out, what do you think about the show? How do we make it better? How do we serve your needs? And so it was really great. And I appreciated everybody's time there for sure last night coming out. And we got lots of great feedback. So yeah, it's up to us to serve the community better, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
awesome. That's awesome. All right, we can't wait to hear more, but let's go ahead and jump into some other news that popped up. Dean's not here to discuss this stuff, so let's go ahead and do this for him. At GamesBeat Next, right, coming up here in, I think it's November, right? Yeah, November 13th, introducing the Fresh Voices in Gaming Lunch at GamesBeat Next. Is going to be jumping up the unique perspectives and fresh outlooks on games are more than buzzwords. They are opportunities for us to continue to evolve and grow together. GamesBeat is committed to putting a spotlight on a new perspective and fresh voices. New GamesBeat Next program, the Fresh Voices in Gaming Lunch, is an ongoing initiative designed to elevate emerging perspectives and ensure the future of the gaming, entertainment, and tech industries reflects a vibrant array of perspectives and stories in gaming and tech, which is great. And it's something, we have to check our own biases. We have to check our historical bias in terms of what we think the industry is and allow those new voices to help create new ideas and carve a path forward for all of us. So I love that they're doing that. And that ties also into the fact they're also doing the Women in Gaming and Tech Executive Breakfast at GamesBeat Next 2025, which is awesome and is absolutely needed. And we need to make sure that we continue to illuminate and amplify new voices, diversity, all of those things in this art form. That is an art form for everybody, right? Not just a select few.
Yep.
So awesome that they're doing that. Awesome,
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. And the Women in Gaming and Tech Executive Breakfast, if I remember, is not just for women, which I
Correct.
didn't know. Last time I was there and there was a Women in Gaming Breakfast, I guess I was like, oh, I guess I'll skip that. But then somebody said to me later, what the hell
Okay.
are you doing? I've been there.
I have to stop for a second because big idea, Bill Young
Yeah.
in the chat
Oh boy, here we go.
says Boss Rush Dinner Theater.
Oh,
Wow.
We have
is,
to make that happen.
That's
We have to do it- we have to do it at a
would-
Can we do it at a speakeasy?
I would love to go ahead and do a live version of
That'd be
all
awesome.
of this.
Have a
with-
debate. Yeah.
Okay, Mark. Well, we need to schedule time.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bill Young.
Thanks,
Well,
Bill.
he's throwing it out there so we could join the panel.
Wait, what did RJ have to say about that?
Oh,
That's just wonderful.
Oh, yes. RJ Michael agrees. That is wonderful. And Rick Villa says, oh boy, 3 a.m. and eats a Krabby Patty. Okay.
Krabby Patty.
So some other news that that Darren brought up, in preparation for this, and one that I'd seen earlier when we were talking about the difficulty of making games, the longevity of games, and how you do this. I mean, here's the blueprint. No Man's Sky breach update patch, improved shipbuilding, space wreck salvaging, and more. Have you all
have to reinstall it and play it again?
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta say, so I mean, I first encountered Hello Games when they were making Joe Danger for IGF
Yes.
back in the day, and so I'm familiar with their work, and obviously I bought in early on No Man's Sky, like a lot of people did, and this is like they have gone. I mean, it's been noted many times. They've gotten awards for it. Their ability to kind of rally around the community and kind of deliver on the promise they had all those years ago. But I think somewhere around 2022, they basically fulfilled that promise. Like all the make goods were done, and then they just keep going forward and they keep releasing and adding more stuff. And we're just like, guys, stop! You could charge us money. We'll pay. So
yeah, that's what Star Citizen wanted to be, right?
oh wow! I'm just gonna be quiet on that one.
There's some shots fired right there.
Shots fired. That's right. There's been a murder in the building. Let's call the cops.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah. So I mean, like, it's gotten to the point now. Whenever I get a new platform, like for example, I bought a copy of No Man's Sky for Switch 2 for my kid because I'm like, if that's my way of tipping them for doing such an amazing job.
Aw. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good plan. Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-download it.
Yeah, just amazing.
I feel like I bought it 10 years ago. Can I still re-download it after 10 years?
Of course.
Is it okay?
Of course you can.
It's just a much bigger download.
Yeah, right.
But so the one thing that I could be wrong on this, but I could swear that like the tech they're uploading into No Man's Sky now is kind of like a precursor to what they're implementing with their next game. So basically I can't remember the name of the game right now that they've announced. Home Fire Burning or whatever. It's basically like a fully independent world. It's like instead of going to multiple galaxies, it's one planet with a lot of systems built into it. And apparently, this is kind of like that. This technology they're developing in No Man's Sky is going to be in there.
Cool.
I mean, look at it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Do you remember all of the early pre-No Man's Sky videos of procedurally generated creatures and everything? And I remember using that to demonstrate to executives like what you can do with this tech and all that stuff. But what it eventually became, it's insane how big this game is. And that they just keep adding this content, right, for their fans. It's just extraordinary.
This is going to be a really old school pull, but also kind of like a really weird reach at the same time. But there was a really old game that I loved back in the day called Sundog: The Frozen Legacy. Yeah, and
oh my God.
So the thing I loved about this game is that it's all these amazing open systems, space exploration, dog fighting in the streets, trading, trading, like intergalactic trading. And all these things happening, all these systems on top of each other, but it was such low graphics. It was like an Apple II game. So but it left like all of this stuff imprinted in my brain of like how amazing this world was. And I feel like Sean Murray and all the guys at Hello Games basically took the stuff from that and from Elite and from all these other games and Freelancer and all these games along the way, and basically took this game that I loved as a child and made it and kind of expanded and blew it up and made it even huger.
Yeah, look at that.
This looks amazing.
I do love that too. And people in the chat, Rick says, man, No Man's Sky is easily one of the biggest redemption arcs in the games industry, for
100%,
sure.
100%.
Hello Games is using NMS to basically test their tech for Light No Fires.
Light No Fire, thank you. That's the game I was thinking of.
And then Skylar said that, yeah, No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes,
Yeah, two big,
yes.
huge redemption arcs, right?
Yeah,
Really
you know what?
amazing.
You know what's funny? I when I was playing Cyberpunk when it first came out, I basically hit hit a stop point because I knew all these updates were coming, and for some reason my brain disconnected. I never got back to play Phantom Liberty, and
Right.
then when the Switch 2 came out, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try now. See how different it is on the Steam, on the Switch 2 versus say the Steam Deck. And I gotta tell you, I've been enjoying the hell out of it on the Switch 2.
All right.
Which is surprising the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the functionality they added for the Switch 2, like gyro controls, mouse optional, stuff like that. It's even like the little things, being able to use the touch screen. I think they incorporated that into the Steam Deck version too. But you can like zoom in on the interface with your hands, so you feel like you're manipulating the map and stuff.
That's really cool. Well, I mean, speaking of Switch, right? Nintendo Switch 2 boost hardware sales up 24% in September.
Yep.
Right. It helps that it's available. Like you can go to Costco now, and there's a ton of Switch 2s there now, right?
Yeah,
So
they were smart to stockpile before and plan ahead, and they waited until the games were ready. I mean, everyone was giving crap about the launch lineup for the Switch 2, but I think people conveniently forgot what the Switch lineup for the Switch 1 was. It was Zelda, and there was Zelda.
Oh no! There was what was the fighting game with the springs?
Arms, but that
Arms.
came later. That Arms came in July or something thereabouts, and then Odyssey came later in the year.
Well, man, hey, 1-2 Switch. I mean, come on.
Hey, I enjoyed the milking game. No, I really didn't. It was
Actually,
weird.
what I do remember with that, there was a friend of mine who was over at EA, and at the time it launched, and it first came out, and I was like, oh, it's not a video game, right? It's just showing off all of the motion control stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I haven't played this. And we were at E3 and we were sitting at this outdoor bar in LA. And I was just like, oh, I have it right here. So we just moved chairs out of the way. And she and I are standing, drawing and doing like all this stuff. People are like, what the hell are they doing? And it's like, nerds. And it reminds me when Mark and I were both up at Games for Change in New York in January, and I brought the Switch 2, and we were playing Mario Kart at the table, and somebody took a picture just at this table doing it. And that's what I do love about the portable stuff. But Darren, you mentioned before, it was like, I hope they go portable. But portable gaming was dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Jeez.
Wasn't portable gaming dead? You don't want to really, that's not a real gamer's thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Who's saying that? Not me.
The world was at the time. Yes, bro.
Nah, I came to accept the fact a long time ago that I was a portable gamer. Carpal tunnel notwithstanding. I mean,
right.
But I mean, it's one thing one thing I just can't do though is I can't play games on my phone. Like I try so hard to help. There's some games you only can play them on your phone. And I'm like,
like a piece of glass over and over.
Yeah,
It's really good for your carpal tunnel.
Yeah, seriously, it works wonders. It truly does.
It's wonderful. It would be great if you were able to recreate a room where every single thing in the room was just completely flat, light switches, door opens, and everything else. Shut out all the lights. Like, good luck. Good luck with this escape room that has no tactile feedback whatsoever for you. Good luck with all of that.
Okay, so basically what you're talking about is an L-Cars Star Trek The Next Gen escape room, which I'm totally okay with. I want to do the Kobayashi Maru escape room.
Yeah, somebody build that.
Skylar in the chat here. Hey, Skylar, how are you, buddy? Skylar says Nintendo doing all of this without a mainline Mario or Zelda release yet is just unfair to other gaming companies.
It's kind of like in the Mario Kart game when you're doing so well you're lapping the last person.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's going on right now.
Somebody's gonna get a blue shell. They gotta watch out.
Yeah, blue shell or a bullet, right? A bullet bill and get out of there. There was one other I think news article that was pretty interesting that came up here too, was that EA and NFL extend their licensing agreement for Madden through 2030.
Oh, interesting.
Right, which is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one, especially in the wake of the EA buyout.
So much for competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's super interesting.
What is interesting about that, right, is when EA pivoted to doing Football Club versus the FIFA license, right? It didn't really impact the sales of it. Like it was the game that held there. Not sure if that would be the same sort of thing with an NFL or non-NFL licensed football game, right? Do you feel that the license here, having the NFL and the players, right, in there, like it has to be there for a game like Madden, where it didn't necessarily have to be there for Football Club? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, I think I think the big point, frankly, is the name Madden. Because I mean, like when you they don't say Madden NFL, they don't say NFL, they say
Right.
Madden.
Yeah.
And I think that it's been that way for a long time. When I talk to non-core gamers who just want to, who literally they buy 2 games a year, NBA 2K whatever and Madden football.
Wow.
That's what it is. Like that's how they refer to it.
Huh.
Wait,
Wow.
what's that? Oh, sorry. I thought I heard something in here.
In your ear.
Yeah, something in my ear.
Are you
I
hearing
thought there
groaning,
was just like
groaning, snoring sounds?
No, it's not growing snoring sounds. I had a sound sample queued up and it didn't play. So,
Oh, wait a
So-
second, you're losing it.
so
It's
you
okay.
so you all stink, and yeah, and thanks a lot for that. Thanks a lot, jerk
Wow.
faces.
Wait, have you talked about the Intellivision Sprint console yet?
We did last
No.
week.
yeah.
You did.
Yes,
was
we
I.
did.
I was having an out of body experience. Clearly,
Yes, we did for
How
sure.
about the, how
Mhm.
about the Samsung Galaxy XR headset?
Oh no.
You
You,
didn't see
you had
that?
it, so you got it. You're checking it
see.
out.
I'm just reading the news. I would like
Oh.
to get it and check it out. I'm kind of excited.
It's
So,
interesting.
More
I mean, it's
XR,
like-
please.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say. I mean, so I work in VR right now, among other things, and I've actually, so as much as I love the full immersion, truly like getting lost in another world, what I find myself gravitating more toward are mixed reality scenarios,
Mm.
like playing Triangle Strategy, for example, and having like a full table that I can maneuver around in my living room, or Lego Brick Tales, or whatever. It's anything that kind of gives me fuller control over something and still be able to participate in my environment, so that when my wife is looking at me funny, like, "Hey, idiot, you're wearing this giant headset in the middle of the house," I can at least acknowledge that I see her making fun of me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I always really appreciated with Quest 3 is that I could see through it. Even if I was playing a VR experience, I could like swap it over and then I could see through it. And
Yeah.
yeah, usually I would do that because the dog is barking at me or something. I didn't want to step on them. But it makes being able to enjoy that experience so much simpler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No lies detected. And yeah, the new Intellivision though. Oh, it looks so
Yeah.
good. It looks so good.
So fill me in. How quickly have you planned to pre-order that? Is that already like Mark? You've already got that budgeted?
He's already got the prototype and behind him, behind the green screen. He's not showing you. I'm sure.
No, it is taking every ounce of energy. You know, if Atari's listening, you know,
Hello.
I'd be happy to say yes every day if, there was some way for me to test these for you. But I've been trying to actually winnow down my collection at home just to have to go replace with more of these mini consoles. And I'm like, but it looks so good. Like they nailed it. Like
I wish I could move my camera right now, but I have 2 shelves dedicated to mini consoles and mini arcade collections, like
Oh my gosh.
like the Neo Geo collection, the Astro City.
Oh yeah,
collection,
the Astro City one.
and all the mini consoles, just like on a couple racks just off camera here.
One of the coolest ones was the Taito arcade one. And the coolest thing about it was that the screen is 4x3, and then you can press the bezel in, and it pops out, and you can rotate it vertically and pop it back in, and then it reorients the games that are vertical in the collection.
Somebody built like a full size one of those. I think we do.
Yes, we do. Raph Koster had
Raph
built an
Koster.
automated one, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
But this
Maybe they
one
were inspired by Raph.
is amazing. Matt, although, has a question for you, Darren. Without being able to see through the VR headset, how am I supposed to drink my old-fashioned? Well,
Straws.
Through a straw, exactly. I mean,
Come on, that's easy. Give me a tough question.
or you just do that double tap, grab your drink, and double tap in, and that's it.
Or
That's how you do it.
you 3D print a cup holder on your VR headset, and then you
That's-
have like a beer helmet VR, or I call it BR for beer.
Oh my God.
Man alive.
You're getting all of them now.
I cannot believe I haven't seen that already somewhere.
BR.
That's amazing.
BR. Yes.
BR. TM. Darren.
That was so bad. It should have been called BO.
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
So, and that was a dab
Wow.
for you too, a dad dab.
Wow, that is a bad dad joke amongst bad dad jokes.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Wow.
Minority.
Yeah, it's that is a problem, you know, if you have to be drinking there while doing that stuff. Well, I know. Well, we actually, I mean, if you guys want to hang out for a little bit longer, I can too. Let me know. Yeah. What other, Mark, since you were joining us today, is there any other news articles, things we should be looking at that we haven't discussed?
Interesting bits. I mean, the only other thing that I have popped up right away was just excitement about the Plants vs. Zombies remaster. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. There's a GameSpeed article on it.
Yeah, it's out today.
Is it out today? Awesome. Yay. I'm excited.
So,
I'll go get it.
I mean, like, I hear that they added some stuff to it. The one thing I'm very curious to try out is a PvP mode where one person plays as the zombies, from what I understand. If I understand it correctly.
Awesome. What a great idea.
And then one person plays as the dirt.
That's the multiplayer.
I just want one person to play as Crazy Dave.
Yes.
Shout out to Orion as Crazy Dave.
Nice.
You know, here's the thing. I never really got into Plants vs. Zombies.
Well, now's your chance.
No, I know. I mean, those types of games are they're swim lane versions of like tower defense, basically type stuff. Don't like tower defense games either.
Oh my God, who is it?
That's okay. That's okay. It's your.
I don't like RTS games.
No, who
And
am I
I'll
talking
tell you,
to?
but I will tell you why. Because being ADHD, I'm like, oh, what was the thing I was supposed to upgrade again to do the what for what? Like the only RTS that really got me were like Total Annihilation, just because Chris Taylor design and everything, and then StarCraft. I'm like, oh, it's space bugs and shit. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, do you want to live forever?
Like, yeah. No, I don't. That would be terrible.
You never played Company of Heroes?
That was a good one.
It was so good.
I think the ones you might want to try, kind of like to dip your foot in the water, are more like real-time tactics games versus the resource gathering is what throws a lot of people. So I would say Company Heroes is a great series. More interestingly, in the previous couple of years, is Aliens: Dark Descent, which so it's again not really resource gathering, but just navigating and surviving hordes of aliens in a story campaign.
Cool.
Perhaps. I'm not saying they're not quality games. I'm not saying they're not quality games. I recognize what they are. My kids grew up playing Plants vs. Zombies. Loved it, right?
Sure.
And I'm like, good for you. Okay. That's fine. Exactly.
I haven't tried Battlefield 6 yet, so
no, I've not tried it either.
I played the campaign.
Yeah,
I'm the guy who played the campaign.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, Elizabeth Olsen launched Plants vs. Zombie 2. Awesome game.
What?
Aww.
Okay, I'm going to, since we're talking about games we like, I did have one experience with a game recently where I found myself sitting there watching the opening. So I was sitting by myself in my office at home, and my wife was in the next room, and she was like, "What are you doing?" Because I found myself going, "Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome." And I'm not going to tell you what it's till I find the video for it.
Okay.
So,
actually, that's an interesting thing to bring up a question for the roundtable. But I want to hear. I want to see this example.
Yeah, this the opening of this thing is just. I'll just show the little 22-second clip here, since we won't have time to show it all. And let me make sure that yeah. All right, here we go. The Daft Punk experience for Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah.
Look at how this opens.
Yep.
Yeah. This is like a labor of love for sure, right?
And okay, that was
It
dumb.
does.
We didn't get to see enough of it.
There's a
at all.
whole. There,
There's a whole.
recordings of the whole thing.
but the whole opening to it, of you flying through it. I mean, this is what it looks like in the experience. You're in a conference with everybody. It is so. It's better than it has any right to. Well, actually,
Right?
that's not true.
Yeah.
It is excellent as you would expect a Daft Punk experience to be. My hair is standing up from it was so freaking good, and
Super
all
good.
of the background stuff that they did with it. As you're flying through and you see mixers and faders emerge out of the sides. It's just incredible art. I mean, it's so good.
This 100% goes to what I was talking about earlier when my kid plays Fortnite. So he does it. He's playing a game, of course, but to him, it's more than that. It's actually it's a social platform. It's where he gets to hang out with his friends that he can't hang out with after school because they moved or whatever. It's also it's introducing him to new music. Like when these things happen, like when the one happened with Eminem, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is so great." He goes, "He's rapping so quickly." I said, "Oh, you have no idea. Let me put you on some other stuff." So, and then he was listening to Eminem around the clock afterwards and trying to master the rap speeds. When the Daft Punk thing dropped, he was doing that stuff. He was really into that. And if anything, it's kind of like when I would go to listen to a radio station back in the day, or MTV, or the Tower listening stations in New York.
Yeah, right. If you like the Daft Punk, the way that they did the Daft Punk experience, you should go try to catch a concert from Justice, which is a French, I want to say EDM group, but that doesn't really capture it properly. They had a live show here in Seattle, and they had the entire set of lights was swinging around. It had different LED banks on different sides of it, so it was insane. You should just go watch a YouTube video.
I'm
But
gonna
it
look that up.
reminded me a heck of a
Justice, you
lot of
said?
that Daft Punk part. Yeah, it's called Justice. Yeah, try to find a live set of Justice, or a song of a live set. You'll see what I mean. I was I don't know how those guys stand there on the stage and don't get whacked by the lighting rigs coming down. They literally come down to the ground alongside of them. It's completely nuts in all the best ways.
Well, speaking of music, that I always, whenever we post to do one of the live streams, I always start with a Beastie Boys lyric at the top that I modify. And Max was like, "Oh," he had responded. Max Cree was like, "Did you responded with, are you going to be doing more of this, or you freestyling?" I said, "No, I'll go ahead and do that opening piece right here on our live stream." So, if I don't do it, then I'm not a man of my word. So let's see if I can do this without.
I hear a beat in it. It just reminds me of Parappa. I don't know why. Oh, there it goes.
Oh,
There we go. Here we go. Well, I'm feeling well, bona fide, qualified with the story to tell. But how you feeling, Mike D? Well, I feel all good. That that's how I'm playing in my neighborhood. But how you feeling, MCA? Well, I feel right. I spread the words on the track because the track sounds tight. And if you're feeling good and you're feeling right, somebody step up and grab the mic. Hello, everybody, and how you been? It's Ad Rock rapping on the microphone again. I got grace, class, style, finesse, and debonair. Myrtleize mother effers because I just don't care. The MC... like Katrina, I take several rappers, I put them through a strainer like macaroni because the stuff sounds cheesy. Watch how it's done, boy. It looks easy. Nonstop going off, kingpin, microphone boss, do my own thing. You can't afford the cost. I bought 5 styles. I complete the turnstile because I'm live and direct, and I'm wicked and wild. So get your ass on the floor. I got total control. I flow like the water out your toilet bowl. Your sound is cheap, boy, just like a Dutch. You know you're not smoking on the microphone much. There's a certain special talent that I never lack. And that's a fact because I shine like the chrome on a Cadillac. You better bake your wishbone because we never whackin'. We never that, and that is that. With a Nonstop disco power pack. All right, there you go. That's
you know what?
Little.
I kept quiet because I'm gonna be ripping that later.
There you
and
go.
using it shamelessly.
Yeah, I should have not said anything. You're right.
Yes. So Max said, are you key
use
styling?
AI.
Which is evidently something online rappers do where they type their freestyles. No, I don't key style, but you watch some of those freestyle rappers online. They're absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, but no,
Bars.
huge
You
Beastie
got
Boys
bars.
fan. So yeah.
Beastie Boys is like company of heroes for me.
Yeah, I know it is. I tried to get Mark into the best.
Way to bring it back. Way to bring it back.
The
did.
best
He did.
album.
He tried very hard, and I went and I listened to it, and I realized that I don't listen to words in songs.
You
so
don't.
It did not work for me. I was
That's
like
what-
blah 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 blah.
No. But that's
rhythm
just
over and over and
just
over.
pull up the lyrics. Pull up the lyrics. We're talking about Paul's Boutique. The only reason that we really have sampling in music is because of Paul's Boutique. Like it in the way that we do it now. Paul's Boutique was the originator. And if you disagree, look, it's okay for you to be wrong. We're all wrong about some things. You're completely
from the
wrong.
RTS comment. Okay. And also, I just saw Crescente's comment. Don't do Rampart dirty. So I agree.
All right, I know we're over time here. Let's talk about the games. What we have been playing. So, Mark, what you playing, buddy?
The Give Press Interviews game. That's the game I've been playing. I've been so lame the last couple weeks. I've been just like writing down in a notepad doc, play this, so that when I got through today and through the interviews, I'd like could go to my stack. So next week I'll have a bunch.
Oh, so nothing playing. Just
Nothing.
like you said,
Nothing.
just working.
Wow.
Ain't doing
Duolingo every
nothing.
morning. That's it.
You get nothing.
That's right. Nothing. Oh, I have
like
that somewhere in here too. Darren, you are going to make this whole soundboard fill back up. How about you, buddy? What are you playing apart from the games that you're working on?
Okay, so it's been kind of like in the Fallout. Speaking of Fallout, happy Fallout Day. This brought to you by Nuka-Cola. There you go.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Um,
Gurgle.
But as far as games I'm playing, it's like there's been a lot of Fallout in the after the release of Silksong. A bunch of indie games have moved into October.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a ton of stuff lately, and I'll just give you a quick list, and you can tell me what you want me to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ball X Pit, I mentioned the other day, that I mentioned earlier about Arkanoid roguelike.
Yeah.
There's Absalom, which is like a street brawler roguelike. You'll notice a pattern there.
Mm-hmm.
Wander Stars, which is a JRPG roguish.
Roguelike?
No, not a roguelike. It's it is a word. Basically, you ever watch say like Dragon Ball, and they would say like some crazy Super Saiyan attack, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
The whole combat is basically arranging the words for your attacks. And you're basically you're going to attack or defend, and it's basically like you yelling out words to
really,
and you earn more words over time. It's dope. Okay, then there's also Keeper that just dropped. The Tim Double Fine produced, I think, game. Very surreal. It's short. It's short, sweet, and really gorgeous looking. It's not if you're looking for challenging, it's not that, but it's kind of something fun to experience. Let me see. Dispatch. So this is from my boys. I'm a little biased. I have friends over there that I worked with from my Telltale days. Collaborated with them. They released Dispatch this week. It's their episodic superhero dispatch game with an amazing cast. Aaron Paul is the lead voice actor, and it's the animation style. It's like you're watching an Invincible episode, and it looks really dope. And they've really done a smart integration of the narrative choices. I've only played the first episode of the 2 that were released for this first week. It's 8 weeks, 8 episodes total, I believe, over the next 4 weeks. And it's a ton of fun so far. I'm a sucker for these kinds of games.
Nice.
And they added some replayability factor a little bit, because you're actually you have this this B team of superheroes, and you're dispatching them to stop crimes. And so each one has strengths and weaknesses, and you're basically kind of creating a team, and then you're kind of trying to judge where you want to send them, and hopefully they don't get hurt in the process.
What's it called again?
Dispatch.
Dispatch.
So they're doing the episodic route, but they're releasing 2 episodes a week, kind of like what they did with Andor, awesome. I guess. And then they're kind of stringing it out because they want to keep some of the episodic flavor. But as someone that worked on episodic games, I could tell you, it is a long haul for a couple of weeks. It is just thankless work.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my goodness. Max
and
says,
that's the short
Yeah.
list.
yeah.
The super short list.
You mentioned a couple of the things I was looking at. One thing that I want to add in there that I'm going to pull down is Final Sentence, which is
Final sentence.
yeah,
What's that one?
Oh yeah, we talked about that
described as
last
a
week.
battle
It's-
royale typing game.
Yes. Think Typing of the Dead, but with multiple people playing simultaneously, Darren. And if you mistype, you take damage, and it's kind of horror based and everything.
I'm totally pulling this down.
Yeah. There was also another game that came out called.
Oh, there's a demo. Oh, there's a demo for it. It's coming out next year. Got it.
Sorry,
There-
it's a demo.
There's
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, there's another game called Mega Bonk.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I keep hearing
dope.
about
Yeah,
that.
that is a super memey viral game, but it's great because you could play as a skeleton on a skateboard as one of the unlockable characters.
Yeah, so
It's
think
fun.
like Vampire Survivors, but in a 3D space with 8-bit style or cartoonified and cell shaded graphics. It's amazing looking.
It's
$10.
basically you can definitely see a lot of the asset inspiration from Vampire Survivors, and they don't hide it. They just kind of laugh about it, and it's
I love that.
and it's fun.
Yeah,
That's
it's
another one.
fantastic.
Yep.
See, Darren, those are the kind of games. One stick, there you go.
Like I was saying.
Yeah. We had Mr. Mark Bot joining us here through YouTube. So, hey, buddy. It's wonderful to see you joining there. Let me see. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we are way over time. So I think what we're going to wind up doing is getting out of here and letting everybody get back to the day. But I want to thank our very special guest, Darren Gladstone, for joining us today. Thank you so much, buddy.
Honestly, it was a blast getting to hang out. I mean, normally it's only like so often, and then at trade shows. So this is always a blessing, you know.
Oh yeah,
fun.
no, it was awesome to have you join us today. And then, of course, Mark, thank you so much for making time to go ahead and jump back in here. And we missed Dean and Susan, but we will see hopefully everybody back together again next week on Boss Rush. Of course, if there are other things that you want us to go ahead and talk about, other guests that you want to have on, we're going to have a recurring rotation of guests, Darren and Richard and a variety of others that join us, because this is what it's about. It's about our community. It's about the industry. It's about being and spending time with each other, which we love. So thanks everybody for joining us on this early edition of Boss Rush. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, an awesome rest of your week. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, gang. Bye.
Have a good week, everybody.